Issues of research and conference papers, writing abstracts, after which we will all retire to our various I'm reluctant to use the word departments now. Those in peace education will come to me and we will look at their titles and look at their abstracts even, but I've printed most of the ones that were sent to me. We'll look at it and then see how we can develop it further. You see, it's a continuous and rigorous process before you get to the final document. So why not you just use the topic or the title you intend to write on eventually? You know, but I don't think for people like you, it might not necessarily end today because, or even for everybody. The conference is on the 15th, right? On the 15th. So we might give extra, now I'm saying this out of, I might still have to go and confirm with my bosses, my seniors. Maybe extra 1 week. And that's why you, for now, you might not even, I don't encourage you to go into empirical papers. Empirical papers where you have to, you know, when it comes to journals, you have position papers where you just write, you concepts, you bring a theory, and then you take a position, conclusion, recommendation, right? But your project is not like that. What do you call it? Purpose of studies, right? Research questions, hypothesis that you eventually test in your chapter 4, right? But then if you already have an idea, your position paper does not take away anything. Because with that, by the time you're concluding, you already have a clear picture of where you are going. So the position paper does not even take away anything. I think it's too late in the day for you to start going to do unless you want to manipulate figures. And if you manipulate figures and bring, we will catch you. Dr. Ian Atu that just came here is a professional in that, catching thieves, academic thieves. You know, how many are academic thieves? in Germany, about 40% of their PhD holders, it was realized that most of the figures that they used in concluding their PhD thesis, I don't know, Germans love PhD a lot, were fraudulent. So people will go to any length to cook up figures. There's a Chinese professor that was executed because he cooked up figures in his research, and eventually he was what? He was caught. You know, in China, they don't joke with this thing. They simply kill the man. So we should also try not to indulge in academic fraud. That is why I would advise you don't even go into empirical papers for now because of the time. Even though the conference says empirical, right? If you look at that flyer, there's a word empirical in it, you know, but for the purpose of time, we can accept position papers. Any other question? So I take it that you've understood everything I've said. You are the day old chick. Apologies, he is not. No, okay. Okay, don't worry. By the time this weekend ends, by the time you're going home tomorrow, you will have a better understanding of what the issues are. I guarantee you that. Sir? What? NSC what? NGO on I'm here. You can call that. Not your family problem, oh. I am here for you. A lot of you have been sending me, some write and they send to me, I look at it and I send back to them. Professor Altman, I look at it and say my own input is wrong, and then he now puts it, not necessarily wrong. He might prepare to go the other way, and then, if you bring your professor's PhD thesis and put it on my table, I have the capacity to what? To point out the areas that are what? So there is no perfect research anywhere. Research is work in progress. Is work in progress. And so today we will be looking. Good morning again. Good morning. Today we will be looking at political leadership and national development in Nigeria. Political leadership and national development in Nigeria. I think I saw Ibrahim Magu earlier. I thought I saw him earlier. He left? Okay. No, not you. I'm talking to you. Does he even know that we're having this class? Political leadership and national development in Nigeria. The title of the course is Theories and Issues of Development. Theories and Issues of Development. The last time we met, we tried to understand why we are so rich, but yet so poor. Right? If there's any question, I sent you the materials, right? Hello? I did send them. That's it. It's a non-sending material. Yes. Hold him. Jivemia, hold him. Look at him there. The materials has been what? Sent. So hold him. Okay. No, why don't you send it? Why don't you send it to him? Hello? Send it to him. Send it to him. He knows how to better distribute these documents. Okay, so are we together? If there's any question, contributions, or even contradictions with regard to the last class, you have 2 minutes to ask. Today, like I said before, we'll be looking at political leadership and national development in Nigeria. Political leadership. I've come to realize that many of us believe that the problem of Nigeria is anchored on what? On what? On what? Political leadership. In the last class, many of the contributors attempted to suggest or suggested that the problem of Nigeria is what? Is political leadership, which corruption within the political class is part of it. Even though, as at then, I tried to explain to us that our problem is not limited to what? To political leadership. It goes beyond that. And I made my points very clear. So, you said what? Majorly. Oh, okay. 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 What is politics? What is politics? What is leadership? What is political leadership? What is politics? What is leadership? What then is what? Political leadership. And how does political leadership impact, influence, or affect development in Africa, in Nigeria, or even across the world? What is politics? We talk about politics every now and then, and some of us assume we know the meaning. But if they ask you what is politics now, you may start looking at the ceiling. What is politics? What is politics? Anyone? Okay. That is one of the most popular definitions of politics, but it is a very vague definition of politics, right? Who gets what, when, and how. David Einstein said it's the struggle for the consolidation of and use of state power in the interest of what? Of what? Of who? Of the people. The struggle for the consolidation of and use of state power. You struggle. That struggle begins during what? During election. Right? During election. And then you win the election. Right? You consolidate your power. And then you begin to what? You begin to what? To use the power to better your life and the life of your girlfriends and your political associates, right? You are shaking your head. I said something wrong and you're shaking your head. I wish, is that how it is? Is that how it's supposed to be? Okay. Now, if you go back to the definition he gave, it is the politicians that determines who gets what, when, and how. As a matter of fact, some crazy man, his name was Mao, Chairman Mao Zedong, you know him, right? He defined politics as war without bloodshed. War without bloodshed. But in Nigeria, politics is what? War with what? With AK-47s and GPMGs. Right? It was Okudiban Noli. He's my townsman, who came up with the most acceptable definition of politics. Max Weber also tried to define politics, and I believe that Okudiban Noli looked at Max Weber's definition and tried to what? To modify it. You know, in academics, sometimes you're allowed to what? To modify and maybe what? Expand and make what? And make better. And make better. But in your own personal opinion, what is politics? Just based on your experience. Based on your experience in Nigeria and politics, can you personalize the definition of politics? I'm not saying give me any academic definition or quote anybody like you tried to do. Just try, attempt to define politics from your own perception. Perception sometimes is based on reality, right? It's based on experience, right? Right? It's okay. From what is going on in Nigeria, from what has been going on in Nigeria, politics, in my opinion, is. Can anybody attempt to give me a practical or pragmatic definition of politics based on the Nigerian experience? You, then you. For the interest of the people, the development of society. That's why there's a word struggle before consolidation. That struggle is the process of acquiring. Yes. Okay, now you're going back to the definition of you're going back to an academic definition. What I'm looking for is a pragmatic or practical definition of politics. Okay, sorry, she first.
Politics, by my own perspective, what happened in Nigeria. By both understand the mindset.
Okay, and she's making sense. You may not understand, but she's making a lot of what? Of sense. Is that all? Okay, go ahead. And now you have arrived at where I thought you were going to. You have arrived at exactly where I thought you were what? You were going to. Okay. Yeah, give me your own definition. At all costs, without what? Without any cost. That's also fine. You see, we have academics in this class, so future, we will be quoting you and me, but your own only applies to Nigeria, even your own self. At all costs, without any cost. That's academic. Hello. Jesus. Okay, you want to try? You want to try? With or without cost? That with or without cost, I don't understand. But I understand the first part. But the other part I don't understand. But you see, how can we develop with this mindset? Can't you see we're in trouble? How can we develop with this, your perception of what? Of politics. But that's what? But that's the reality. How can we? Because we're talking about development.
That's why you lament. Why would you put politics for it?
You, that is good now. Do you have 500 billion to contest for election? Can't you see that we're in trouble as a nation? Can't you see that we're in trouble? So the people, that is why the worst of us are the ones who lead us. Because they have enough resources to get to power without what? Without recourse. They use dubious means to get to power. What was that your opinion again? Of the people. They use us. During the election, you start hearing of religion, you start hearing of ethnicity, right? They're just, it's manipulation. And she's also very correct. And then once they get to power, that's it. Have you seen, did any of you here do student union politics? The only student union election, those who want to contest will start shaking everybody and be friends with everybody, right? The moment they win, you will not see them again. So, is what? I'm coming. But in essence, in a democracy, who are the leaders? In a democracy is a representative system of government. The people are supposed to be what? You are sending them to what? To what? But once they get there, what happens? What happens is not my business. What is leadership?